Okay, good day. So we're starting a channel off with a TRX4 build. There's been tons of them done, so this will be yet another, but we're going to go comp style on this one. Underdrive, underdrive, overdrive axles, droop suspension. Take out 2-speed tranny, make it locked in low, and I'm going to leave the locking diffs in, but change them independently on the control so I can decide which one, not just front then rear. So we're going to start it by taking out a lot of the stock parts or parts that have been modified by previous owner that just need some attention to get them up to date. Figure out a mount so we can move this radio box forward, get all the electronics. I think on this side back here, mount the battery over here, and yeah, basically just see what we can get done. I have all new links and shocks from the long arm kit that we picked up at Eliminator for the Bronco build I did last week, before we decided to start filming, of course, but whatever. We'll feature it at some point. Maybe give it away, who knows. But stay tuned, we're going to rip this thing apart, and of course we'll speed that up and we'll get back in a bit. Thanks guys. Hey guys, Keith, Jesse here, ProNoobRC. Day 2 on the TRX4 build. We've got everything stripped down. Picked up a new frame from ProNoobRC and some bumper mounts and other things that need to be replaced. We're going to start with stripping these down, cleaning them, greasing them, getting them back and running, replacing any bearings. They look like they've fairly well used, and yeah, we'll get into that. I have underdrive, overdrive gears on order for those too, so those will be apart for a little while. Yeah, I like to start by cleaning everything, all the dirt, dust off, inspecting everything first, so if you need to go get parts, you kind of know what you need before you get into it, but you never know what's inside, so you'll always miss something, so just best to rip it apart. Make a list and go in. Or you like me, end up with a parts wall full of parts you'd never use, just hang there in the bag. Remind you of poor decisions. So, what do you think, Jess? Clean enough to start that one?
Yes.
To keep things simple, I usually use Ziploc bags and just strip these right down, throw all the parts right into the bag. Parts like this screw you can put back in. There's no point leaving that out. We're probably going to upgrade these with some brass units by Metal Fab by Reed, or check out some Samics. I see they're out there pretty cheap. But not really the biggest fan of new strange parts. Usually like quality tested components. And make sure to keep everything camera center. So yeah, with these links we can just throw everything in a bag. Keep it all together, simple. First time pulling one apart. I own a few of them, but haven't really done anything besides change outer portacovers. Puts more weight in there. Things got so many different length links, we'll just separate them out to keep them. I like to see that Traxxas used Loctite on all the stuff when they put it together. But many kits I've brought home and immediately had to rip them apart and Loctite everything up and make sure it wasn't going to go out and fall apart on the trail. We'll leave these guys too. Oh, if you don't pull them apart and Loctite them, then they break. Little bits fall out in the transmission and cost you tons of parts. So just really glad to see people are taking the time to take the extra steps these days. A lot of competition from China making super cheap kits with zero quality. So as long as the big hobby guys keep stepping the quality up, they got nothing to worry about. What do you think, Jess?
I agree.
Let's just strip them right down, clean right up. Not really paying too much attention to how I'm pulling it apart because I have a builder's kit ready to go and I'll just use a manual for that when it comes time to reassemblies. So you can make notes, take pictures if you don't have a manual, or simply just look online. Traxxas has all the manuals for, I think, most of their kits on there, just like every other company. Well, yeah, good hobby company. Decent. Need a small flathead just in the side of this bag. There am I. So the little C-clip that holds the cable in here can be a little bit of a bugger. There's many tricks. Some guys put these in bags and stuff to keep it from going flying. I like to just hold it with 2 fingers. Use a flathead and pop the little guy out. Pull the cable off, you have to finish pulling off the diff cover and then be able to push the cable through with the locker out the front. I'll finish taking off the portals first and then we'll pop that out because then that's when it gets all greasy. Because yes, Traxxas use grease on their gears. I believe the gears in these RTR models are just straight cut, and the underdrive, overdrive ones that I've ordered are spherical cuts. That's spherical? I don't know, something like that. They're curved teeth. I'm sure we'll look that up and post it on the screen. So they're using a small steel bushing in there that just passes through the top. Very nice, actually. Very nice, simple design. I know, working on the axials, trying to get those stupid little bushings to sit inside the axle. It's a lot of fun when you're learning anyway. After you figure it out, you use some grease and it stays put, but it all takes time to learn and figure it out before we get there, and that's part of it. So. These just slide out, of course, just simple. These C-hubs are mounted with 3 screws onto the end. We'll leave those on for now. There's no point pulling them off until we get some brass ones to replace them. So let's finish pulling this cover off. We'll pop out the locker, T-locker I think they're calling it, and ring pinion. I'm curious to see though if they do have a bearing behind this plastic end, or if they're just using that to support the shaft. The T-locker has a little tab that locks in right there. Pop it there, flip it around in your hand, pop it there. Oh, I'm sorry. Pull this end off, and then we can pull that through. You just grab the brass. Woo. Well, that came out nice. You grab the brass part there with a pair of pliers and just unthread that, just thread it on. And some people struggled with figuring these out, but they're very simple. Same as an airplane push-pull line. I know I'd bought some RC four-wheel drive cables before that came with no ends or nothing, and they were a pain in the ass to track everything down I needed. I think they're still sitting in a bag somewhere, so. Yeah, pretty even wear, no chipping. And the last owner of the truck is a good friend of mine, and he sure gave it a good workout. So yeah, I got no complaints with that. It was pretty good. Keeping the spares. There's the locker mechanism, if you guys are wondering how that works. Pretty simple. Appears to be a little bit of sand in here. So obviously the C-hubs at the end of the axles are letting dirt in. Yeah, there's no bearings in there, that's just plastic housing. So that's one upside axial. It does have all of them, or does have over these is the sealed bearing right before the C-hub. Keeps a lot of dirt out. So not too bad. Let's say this truck has maybe 10 hours, 15 hours on it, so it's relatively new. Just a hard many hours. So actually the only thing that broke on this truck was rear locker. Not the gears, just the locker mechanism. Grab some degreaser and clean these up better off camera. There's no point watching me do that. And when I get the new gears, we'll get back into these. Store it in the housing just to make my life a little simpler. Feels really nice and smooth, no notching, no clicking, no clunking. It's got a slight but I believe that's probably just normal. Yeah, straight cut gears. So we'll start these by removing the X actually off the end. Once again, Loctite used. Very happy with that. 2 screws in the front, 6 in the back, it looks like. I've really never actually opened a set of these, so. Very hesitant on buying the TRX4 when it came out. It does not take Traxxas forever. And about 1 that turned into 4, and I'll keep going. So. Nice to see a different body design. I know Ben wants a Dodge pickup. Keeps it being beaten to death. So. I mean, like a Fiat 500 or something.
Yeah.
Traxxas Fiat 500. A lot of the times these holes on the shaft get tore up and the bearing doesn't want to slide past. So Traxxas skimmed out on the grease on these things, but at least there's a little bit. I'd like to see a little bit more, but they got money to make, so I get it. It's really big gear, like huge surface area.
Yeah.
That's what fails you in these things is companies put these together with gears with very tiny surface area and they don't hold up. That's really impressive. Yeah, a little bit of cleaning, re-grease those up. I think those bearings are fine. We're just gonna set them back together because we're gonna order all this in brass. So we'll just loosely set it back together, give them a cleanup, quick cleanup session on them. Set them back together, throw them in the parts bin, and wait for the parts to come in. Okay guys, we reset here for a bit of tranny maintenance here. We're talking about taking out second gear high range on this transmission. So right now we're just testing it to be sure because we don't want to take out things we might need. So in position, we're just testing is obviously first, back position. Second, you can see as Jesse spins the shaft that the spur gear actually speeds up. And now slows down. And up. And down. Ah, down. So we're going to take out all of the components. Hopefully. I don't even know what these things look like on the inside. So I'm going to give it a quick clean. Tear it apart. Okay, so we put some Agent Orange on this. It's just horrible on the fingers, but what are the damn light go up there? Is that light? Light's back. So once again, clean everything before you get inside and make things worse than they are. To give it some very cool transmission design, very different, very different. That's your hole bag. Jesse's bag.
You got it.
Woo! 2018, everybody's gonna have a bag and not be offended by it. Means something completely different to me than it does mode. I have a funny feeling this transmission is going to be perfectly clean once we get into it, but it's cold out. And it's raining today in December, so you might as well play through. Nice. Your lower spur gear cover and chassis mount. Really like what they did with this. Kind of maybe thinking the transmission's been recycled out of one of their other vehicles. I don't know nothing about Traxxas besides the TRX4s, so that's something we can look into. Because it is rather large for even being a 2-speed. Yeah, it might be specifically built for the TRX4. I've seen a few builds, guys are making this into a dual rear output. I think it's this one or maybe this one, I'm not sure, but might be this one so it clears the links, but they're putting 2 rear drive shafts to run 6x6 on the rear twin reaxle. Pretty cool. Me, not a fan of 6x6s. Built several. It's too damn big. That pretty much is. So here's we have 1, 2, 3. 2 here, but this might just be a cover for the back half. Yeah, that is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws. Separate the 2 halves. Hopefully I can leave the spur gear on, but okay, so yeah, as I was saying, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws it looks like. I think I can leave the spur. But really, for the 5 seconds it takes to take off, let's just knock that puppy off there. Ah. So TRX is using thrust washers behind instead of a spring. Don't know if you'll be able to see these. They have a little bit of a convex to them. So when you tighten them up, they squish flat. You use a bunch of them together in a pack, which makes a spring. I believe they're thrust washers. I could be wrong. It is Thursday, and I'm usually wrong on Thursdays. This part's going to come apart, get cleaned, and put back together right away. So we're not going to go too far with the screws. I'm going to have to dig in the bag. We ordered the new frame rails, came in today from good folks at UnportedRC. That was a quick turnaround time. If you know me, I'm not a fan of ordering anything off the internet. I'm self-employed and I like to support local business, not China. Especially like this time of year, Christmas. Puzzle. It's a puzzle. You always want to quadruple check you got it all before you start pulling everything. So when you're pulling it apart, this little shaft is in a rubber boot. You just push that through. Make sure you don't pull out all the guts. Same as your output shaft. Just push that through. Never mind, that's gonna come with. See the washer on the end? It's a shim that needs to go back on. If you don't put it back on, we'll be making funny noises. Won't be shifting properly, so always got to watch for that. And then yeah, you just kind of put this back together. So yeah, I was wrong on the way the shafts come out. But hey, Thursday. Whoa. Let's get this shit flip back here. You gotta give it a little rotate to line everything back up for how these shafts work. Okay, so we know that's second gear. Let's take a look. Right now, okay, so input shaft. Okay, so right now you can see that This gear's not hooked up to the dog. He's just spinning. So, pretty sure that gear can come out. We can put a spring on the shaft or a tube on the shaft, holding the locker over. So yeah, let's wiggle these gears out and figure this out. Feels like plastic, but I think it's machined steel that's call it on there. Okay. More deconstruction. This transmission, if anybody's noticing, is rather dry too. I was rather unimpressed. Like there's nothing on my fingers, and I'm now handling the gears, so either it turned to dust or there just wasn't any. Enough anyway. I know with this gear right here on the builder kit, there's a problem with the machining on the bearing. The hole's only 9.7 and the bearing's a 10 mil, 5x10. So when we build mine in a few weeks, we're gonna find out if we got one of those lucky ones, I guess. Luckily, I already called Traxxas and ordered a bearing. They're nice enough to send it for free. Not the bearing, sorry, but the gear. That's me kind of lost for words. There's grease on the more on the sides than the side of the gears than the teeth, but whatever, at least we're seeing some. I've literally opened kits and there's nothing. Just a disgrace. Yeah, you could really duplicate. Yeah, that's pretty cool. The rear of the transfer case. Different way of doing it, that's for sure. Goodbye. Okay, so pop the top gear out or let it fall out. Goodbye, screwdriver. Luckily, I got more. Push that over. Pin on the shaft. Yeah. things you learn when you learn into film. So, okay, so we got that shaft out. This guy is just your front output, rear output, basic transfer case with a with the top down. Cool. Haven't seen it done that way. Probably one of the ways they worked out getting rid of torque steers. So this is the shaft in question. Now I'm hoping I can get rid of this, but we're gonna have to make a spacer the width of, well, maybe not too bad. Just on the inside there's that lip. I don't know if you can see, that's probably 3 mil, 4 mil, 3.5, 3.78. Use micrometer. I am liking the fact that there's shims put in place. Just thinking if it's easier to, there's not much beef to that gear. If I just Dremel the gear off and then we'll machine it on the bench grinder down just to make the spacer we need there. Or if I just look around and see if I can find a spacer first. Let me see what I can find. And yeah, it's really not too many parts for the 2-speed. It's a bonus. It's really crappy cast gear. That's really shitty. That would break. Those always fail after time. It's not a matter if they fail, it's when. This is machined. Just worn well. Very sharp. These gears could use just a little bit of deburring on the edge. I like to just take a small file and take the edges off so they're not eating each other. Probably doesn't do anything, but that's just me. Yeah, so that's enough for tonight. Jesse's giving me the signal, he's got to go, so we'll get back to this in a few days. Hopefully a few more parts are coming in. Right now I'm waiting on a screw kit, get rid of all these rusty screws, brass. Think out this 2-speed delete. One, is it worth it? How much weight are we going to save with 1, 2, 3 pieces really? Still going to maintain that, to keep it locked in place, unless we figure another way to pin it in place, but really, it's not going to be huge savings. No, that stays with all. Yeah, so we'll figure that out and we'll get back to it in a couple days. Hopefully Eliminator will have more parts for us. And yeah, talk soon.